Please subscribe my channel. I didn't notice it at first. I thought it was just a joke, something she said in passing while we were at that small dinner with her friends. She laughed, I laughed, everyone laughed, or so it seemed. But then she said it. That sentence, that tiny line that felt like a dagger, slicing through the normal air of our conversation. Honestly, sometimes I wonder why I even married him. The words barely registered at first, but the tone, the mocking, sweetened with laughter, hit me in the chest. I froze for a second, pretending I didn't hear. I hoped maybe I misheard, maybe it wasn't directed at me. But the way her friends giggled, the little nods, the smirks, they confirmed it. I had spent 10 years thinking we were partners. I had thought that the small, quiet sacrifices I made, making her coffee every morning, staying up late when she had work deadlines, picking up groceries she'd forgotten, meant something. That they were tokens of care, of love, of mutual respect. Apparently I was wrong. I didn't say a word. I let it hang there, thick and suffocating. She went on to laugh at some other comment about me, twisting it into another punchline. Her friends leaned in, eyes wide, clearly enjoying the show. And I just sat there, holding my glass, letting every laugh, every jab settle like stones in my stomach. It wasn't the first time she had mocked me in front of others. There had been little jabs over the years, her rolling her eyes when I explained my thoughts, little whispers when she thought I wasn't paying attention. But this, the public, intentional humiliation, it was different. It was deliberate. And something inside me shifted. I realized in that moment that I had been invisible to her for a long time. That the man she married, the man who had given everything for her, had become nothing more than a punchline. The fact that she could so easily, so casually drag my name into mockery, said more than words ever could about where I stood in her heart. Or rather, where I didn't. I thought about leaving right there, walking out while they all stared in shock. But I didn't. I sat. I sipped my drink. I waited. And then later that evening when we were back at home, she tried to pretend nothing had happened. Tried to make small talk, laughed at some silly story on TV, asked me if I wanted a snack. I looked at her. Really looked at her. For the first time in years I saw her clearly. Not the woman I had thought I married. Not the woman who once looked at me with warmth, who once trusted me with her dreams. No, this was a woman who had checked out long ago, who had no interest in hiding her disdain for the person I had become, or maybe the person she had never truly seen. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I just said the words that had been forming inside me for years, slowly, patiently, like a river carving stone. It's over. She stopped. Frozen mid-bite of some meaningless snack she had prepared. Her smile faltered. The casual ease in her voice disappeared. She opened her mouth, maybe to laugh, maybe to mock me again. But this time I didn't give her the satisfaction. I didn't wait for her to finish. I turned away. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg her to understand. I just left the room. And then the house. Driving in silence, I realized I hadn't felt this free in a decade. The weight of her words, the endless cycle of disrespect, humiliation, and neglect, they had been mine to carry silently for years. But in that moment I shed it all. Every insult, every jab, every whispered comment and public mockery, they weren't mine anymore. They belonged to her. I had returned them quietly without spectacle. And as I drove I began thinking, not about what I had lost but what I had gained. Clarity. Freedom. Space to breathe again without someone constantly measuring my worth against their amusement. Space to think, to exist, without being someone else's punchline. I didn't need to check her phone. I didn't need to dig into her secrets. I didn't need to confront her friends. This wasn't about proving her wrong or making her feel small. This was about me reclaiming myself. About ending the cycle of disrespect. About refusing to participate in a life where my presence was tolerated only as a joke. The truth had been staring me in the face for years. I just hadn't wanted to see it. I hadn't wanted to admit it. But there it was, crystal clear, laid bare in the middle of that crowded dinner. The woman I married didn't respect me. She didn't value me. And she had no intention of changing. I realized something else too. That moment, that night was mine. The choice was mine. And I chose myself.